Many people view religious law as an absolute dictatorship. In this view, a creator hands down a rigid list of rules and demands obedience under the threat of punishment. Modern atheists, like author Sam Harris, challenge the logic of this arrangement. Harris points out that if a person never asked to be created, a creator has no inherent right to dictate how that person lives. The Jewish legal tradition agrees with that rationalist premise. The Jewish people do not follow the Torah out of a debt for their creation or as repayment for being taken out of Egypt. Instead, the engine behind the 3,000-year evolution of the oral law is mutual consent. This shifts the entire understanding of religious authority. It reframes the law as a social contract, freely chosen by a nation rather than forced upon them. This constitutional history is preserved through a strictly documented chain of custody. Medieval legal scholars tracked these rulings through centuries of migration and change. This investigation is anchored by 4 primary texts: Maimonides' introduction to the Mishnah and his code, the Mishneh Torah, the letter of Rav Sherira Gaon, and the Book of Tradition by Abraham ibn Daud. These scholars recorded an unbroken transmission of law. Their works show that the system was sustained by human debate and consensus, rather than a series of miracles. Because they survived, a dispersed nation maintained a single, unified legal code across continents. These 4 texts serve as the legal briefs for the entire system. They establish that the law is the product of continuous human agency. To understand this system, we have to look at the events at Mount Sinai as a formal contract negotiation. The records describe a calm and transparent proposal. The offer was conditional. God proposed that the Israelites would become a kingdom of priests only if they chose to accept the terms of the covenant. The people responded with Naaseh VeNishma, meaning we will do and we will hear. This was a good faith acceptance of the proposal before the specific details of all 613 laws were even known. Moses then ratified the agreement. He drafted a written declaration of the terms and sealed the contract with a blood covenant in front of the entire assembly. The validity of the Torah rests on this moment of national consensus. It was a voluntary agreement, not an act of divine force. This consent created a system of representation. While God appointed Moses, Moses held legal authority because the people actively consented to let him represent them. That authority was transferred down to a human judiciary. Moses appointed the first court, giving them the power to interpret the law for future generations. This judicial power allowed for new legislation. Centuries later, the courts instituted holidays like Hanukkah and Purim that were not in the original 5 books of Moses. These additions became binding laws because the general public formally accepted them and integrated them into their lives. The authority to expand and apply the law moved from the heavens into a human judicial framework. This process eventually led to the final codification of the system, the Mishnah and the Babylonian Talmud. Grounded, these dense volumes are often misunderstood as a set of rules imposed by a rabbinic elite. In reality, the Talmud is the legal record of the last national Supreme Court that represented the entire nation. These rulings became binding because they received the mutual consent of the people before the exile fractured their communication. This 3,000-year oral tradition serves as a living constitution, existing because the governed once chose to accept it.